Okay, so next what we're going to see is see some of the Civil3D settings. This is basically like the preliminary stuff that you need to do to get started before you start drawing and anything like that. So check the previous tutorials on the introductions and things like that. So now what we do is as soon as you get into Civil3D, some of the basics and some of the settings, where to find it and what to do. Okay, so if you go to the file menu, if you go there and so you see like these are the two buttons which basically shows you the recent documents, and then it shows the open documents, and then you can actually right click here, click on this button here, you can open it, you can remove from the list, or you can pin it. So that's one of those things. And then you see there is a button here that says options. So this will take you into the standard AutoCAD options screen. So if you don't know where it is, or if you forgot something, you can right click and then click on options. Okay, so that will take you up here. So, and also you can type in options up here. So that will go and open the options as well. So now if you look at the option, it shows you certain things here. So first is the current profile is a Civil3D metric profile. So it is not an imperial, it is a metric profile. So that's the first thing. And then if you see, the first tab is about files, all the files that are connected to your workspace, to your drawing, to your template, everything like that, you should be able to see it. The support file path, you can see a list of all the files that is being connected before you open the very first file. And the search path, so which all the location, whenever you click on something like, opening a template or opening a file help menu or anything like that, it is going to open some of those path. So those path can be found here. So trusted file path, so this is basically all your trusted path where you generally have your Civil3D installed, and some of the data of Civil3D such as template data and libraries and blocks and things like that. And project file search path and customized files. So this is your main CUI and enterprise CUI, and this is like which I will show you later down the track today. And so that's basically however you customize your user interface, those things are actually coming from here. So the enterprise CUI is like if you have, let's say, around 50 or 30 drafters in your company, most of the cases the CAD managers actually can control so what is the user interface that you should work. Probably they'll add a separate tab and then add your company projects and apps and things like that. So that sort of stuff people can control using the enterprise customization file. I'll be doing a separate course on CAD managers version of AutoCAD, where I'll be going some of these things, and also some of the macro writing scripts and things like that will be dealt in that. Okay, help and miscellaneous files and text editor, dictionaries, and what are the default applications that you should open, and printer file path, automatic save. So what is the temp location where you say the BCK files or something. So as you can see, if you keep scrolling, you can find some of those things which will be a bit of your interest. And template settings, you can say which location your drawing templates are. So as you can see, this location is like, whenever I go to the file menu and then try to open a new file, it opens a dialog box and asks me to pick a template. So that is actually inside this particular folder. If you want to change it to another location where you have your templates, then you can do this here. Same with all the other things as well. You see, remember I talked about two different ways of opening a Civil3D file. One is you go from this one, you click on new, and it actually opens a pop-up box and asks you to pick a template before you open a file. Based on that selected template, it will open a DWG file. Whereas if I go to start and then if I click on new up here, so it opens straight away. So without even asking which template I should choose to open this file. Now what happens there is, like if I go back again to the file and then you see the template settings, and you see there is a file which is mentioned, which we should actually use it whenever we click on Q new. That is called quick new. So that's what the second new which I clicked on. So that means like it will directly go into this template file and then take a copy of the template and open as a DWG file. And where's your block folder and authorization palette, all of these things we will actually go as we go into some of those modules as well. So this is basically where all the files is going to be related, and all the folder structures and stuff. So the next one is like your display. Right now the display is set to dark. You can change it to light, and I'm just going to put it back to dark. I prefer a little dark. So And you can also change some of these settings here as well. So you can show the tooltip whenever you keep your mouse on top of things. It actually tells you what is a tool is about and what you can change and what not and stuff. It gives you basic instructions. So that's your tooltip. And show rollover tooltip is like an extended version of the tooltip. So as you keep your mouse there for few minutes, extra few seconds, instead of showing a short tooltip, it actually rolls over and actually shows you more detailed tooltip. And similarly, you can see layout elements and then the display resolution and the arc and circle smoothness. If you see your circle is going to be bit like a polygon, and let's say if I actually create a circle, and so if I create a circle, sometimes what happens is they may look like a big polygon, so it may not be as smooth as what we see here. So if that is the case, if you want to increase the smoothness, now this is basically a small circle. If you make it a bit bigger, you will be able to see it. So it's basically the arc and circle smoothness. You can change this value to maximum of 20,000 so that this circle will look a lot smoother compared to like having little lines joined together. And you can also change the render object smoothness and segment poly curves and things like that. And crosshair size, right now there is a crosshair size of 5. You can increase the crosshair size or reduce it to your need. And open and save. And so this is like how you're gonna save your file as default. I don't want my file to be saved accidentally as 2013. Then you can check this option as 2018. So every time you save it, it saves as 2018 version. And thumbnail and preview settings. So you can choose what do you want to see. Basically what's in the view is basically going to be your thumbnail. You can change those things as well. Automatic save happens every 10 minutes. You can change to 5 minutes if you want. And full-time CRC validation. Sometimes the file's getting corrupted if you have that issue. People do have that issue sometimes if it's a network drive or share folders and things like that. So if that is the case, you can do full-time cyclic redundancy check. And this basically every time an object is read and things like that, it does that checks to make sure it is not corrupted. And plots and publish. So you can choose what's your default printer. If you want to put it to a paperback printer, you can do it, or to a PDF printer. I'm not going to go over all these settings, then it's going to be a bit boring for you, but I will actually come into those ones as and when we need it. And system, go to graphic performance, and right now it is actually set to hardware acceleration is on. You can turn it off, so that means like it will use DirectX or DirectX to do the rendering rather than the GPU. So I have an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 Ti, which is really a good card. It's a legendary card, I would say it. I've been using this for the last probably around 8 years or something like that. I never had a reason to change it to. I still have a couple of other machines where I do some rendering work for 3ds Max. During the 3ds Max lesson, you see that it is coming from that rig, and there I'm actually using RTX 3070 and 3080. But here I'm using GTX 1070 Ti on my primary machine, which is like a pretty stable one. But again, if you wanted to find which graphic card that you should actually get it for Civil3D or any Autodesk product, there is a website where you can actually go and you can Google it. Let me find it for you. Civil3D compatible GPU. If you just, whatever the product that you want to use, if you type in compatible GPU, then you get a whole bunch of suggestions, and you can go to Autodesk space as well, and then you can say display card and additional information, and also you can see the certified graphic hardware page. So there you can actually see list of all the hardwares that is basically supported. This is for AutoCAD, but Civil3D is sort of like a blown up version of AutoCAD. So you can actually see all of these things are actually supported, and all of these things will work with Civil3D. Alright, so that's basically your hardware acceleration and software acceleration. If you see some glitches and if it's not rendering properly or any of those issues, you can come back and work on this one. Okay. And user preference. So you can see like right click customization, like whenever I do the right click, what's going to happen, and block editor settings, line weight settings, all of those things you can customize it. Drafting. So the marker, magnet, so that's basically snap magnets, and aperture size, snap grid size, all of those things you can control on these screens. And the same with the 3D modeling selection, so you can choose a picker box selection, and the grip size. I would suggest keeping the grip size as small as possible. With Civil 3D, there is going to be plenty of objects, and sometimes you'll be creating spline sort of curves and things like that. So there are going to be lots and lots of vertices. So it's best to actually keep the grid size as small as possible, not too small, as small as possible. And then profiles, we have default profiles. We'll talk about profiles in AutoCAD. So take a look at AutoCAD Fundamentals tutorial. Once I've done that once, I'll be going through profiles and what's the purpose of it and what's the difference between this one and CUI and things like that. And then click on OK. So that's basically options. So the next one is like your customized user interface. If you go there, so let's say if you want to add tools in here, we already saw how to do it. Right click on a tool and then click on add to quick access toolbar. That's what comes up here. And if you want to remove it, right click and then click on remove and click on the drop down, and then it shares more commands, and which will take you into customized user interface, and then you can pick any of the commands, and then that will add up here to the profile quick access toolbar. And same way you click on the drop down, and then you can click on show below the ribbon. So that means a quick access toolbar, instead of on the top, it will be under the ribbon, so you can add more tools to it. So I'm going to put it back to the top, and then again I'm going to click on show menu bar. So right now we don't see the menu bar here, so I'm just going to turn it on. But I would suggest what we're going to do is like we will keep the menu bar for the first half of the tutorial series, and then later we will turn it off, and then we'll start using the ribbon. So I really want you guys to get comfortable with the ribbon, and then I want you guys to find everything within the ribbon, because that is available. So there is only very few instances that you actually need to go into the menu. That's why it was hidden. And you can also type in CUI. That will take you into the customized user interface. I'll be doing a separate tutorial on this one in AutoCAD's fundamental, how to create a new tab and panels and all of those things. Refer to that, and so we can go through that there. And then you see this is your view cube, and you can actually adjust your view cube. And so that's basically the settings and everything like that. And you can also go to the hamburger icon here, and you can turn on and off and things. And let's say if you don't want dynamic input, this is your dynamic input, and you can turn it off. So yeah, some of those things you can play around with that. And so let's get started with creating some objects within Civil 3D in the next tutorial. Thank you.